Well, good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, everybody. Sorry about the confusion about the budget committee and budget workshop. We got to start, I guess we have to define them a little bit better there. But I wanted to make sure that I did call, I did send that email and I got a response from Brenda, and then Dave and I connected as well. So glad we got here. Couple things. I just wanted to, we're starting to get things flowing out of New York State in the last half hour or so. Dan, can you put up that, did you do that document, or I can flash mine up? Or I can do it myself, either way.
Either way, let's see. Whoever gets there first, I guess.
I got it.
Okay.
Mine's showing already. I'll just do it easier to just pop it up quickly and do a little summary. Two things I want to do tonight. I'll just provide an update about where we're at in the last 20 minutes to a half an hour. Does that show, Dom? You see that screen? Okay. So this is actually just a printout from NYSBA. We're starting to get information out. We haven't seen any figures as of yet, so there's really no discussion about numbers this evening. However, NYSBA and a number of the Twitter, you're seeing some different agencies starting to put some things out, but key points that we're hearing, we're looking forward to seeing the numbers either later this evening or early tomorrow morning, but they're showing a foundation increase for all districts, along with a plan to fully fund foundation aid formula over the next 3 years. That's great news. We're hearing that number is 29.6 billion. That's up from 27.9. So it seems like it's about $1.6 billion increase. We'll be interested to see what that means for Fulton. The rejection of the local district funding adjustment, or the STAR funding, that was great to see. The reduction of the governor's proposal to consolidate and eliminate expense-based aids. Based on the January runs, that's $416,000 to the positive for us if that's rejected, if that goes through, so that's good news. Expansion of the aid costs associated with delivery of student meals and instructional materials in spring of 20 also include transportation. If you remember, we had paid through May 1st, so that's good. We had done an agreement with Golden Sun, our partners, on that, and this seems to mirror that quite well. Along with some other pieces here, which I won't read all of them. And also, they did accept the governor's proposal to guarantee low-cost broadband to low-income families. So all good, positive things. A couple of things that we don't see on there yet that I'm interested in seeing is impacts with respect to the forgiveness bills. They're not mentioned in here at all, so obviously that's an important one for us that we haven't seen, so it'll be interesting to see if that gets through this year. That could be very impactful for us. So again, number of things. So a lot of good things are flowing. We just don't know what those numbers are. And then obviously there's the federal stimulus monies flowing. And we did, if you did see yesterday, they were talking about, but they made it clear from NYSED that even though school districts may have received from different, quote, organizations figures, and you may have seen in the news, there was figures associated with Fulton a week ago or so. Until we see the actuals, they say don't believe anything until we actually see the NYSED federal stimulus figures. So again, there's a number of things that we're waiting on at this point in time. So I just wanted to give a brief synopsis, kind of where we're at as of 6 o'clock on Tuesday the 6th. So all good things. Then the other thing I wanted to bring up this evening was just the timeline. I thought we should revisit that. Earlier today, we moved the Fulton City School District Budget Committee, which is the committee of the stakeholders, to the 15th. So we moved their meeting from the 8th to the 15th. We have scheduled an all-day meeting with my team. Tomorrow is a rather full day, so we'll start digesting it, breaking it down tomorrow. On Thursday, we plan to spend a chunk of the day, big chunk of the day, really putting some things together, which we can then share some draft pieces and updates to the board. The question I have is, we have a board meeting on April 13th. Robin, we haven't set the agenda for that meeting as of yet, but my recommendation that a majority of the superintendent's report would be on the budget and discussion about the budget with the board. I wasn't sure if you felt we should have a budget workshop on the 12th, or we can have our meeting on the 13th, get everybody up to speed, make proposals and recommendations to the board to ponder. We do have the city annual meeting is on the evening of the 14th, which is the next day. We could consider, if the board on the 13th said they would like to come together on the 14th, we could do it before or after, or we could push out to the 20th. The 20th is the date that we had down as a tentative. I would propose that on the 20th, unless things all line up on the 13th, which I'd be surprised, but again, we'll see. On the 20th, we'd have a special board meeting. We had that on our calendar originally as the possible budget ratification date. My recommendation is we hold that date, because I believe we're going to see more information flowing over the next week or so, and I would want to make sure we're as accurate as possible on the 20th. So that would be my recommendation. So I guess my question would be, do we just want to aim for the 13th and then make a determination on the 13th if we need to schedule another budget workshop or not? So that would be a discussion point that I just wanted to get clarified, because if we were to put another budget workshop in, we want to make that announcement, so we get the 5 days in advance.
I'm good with the 13th. If my colleagues that are here are, I'm good with doing most of the budget work at our board meeting on the 13th, our regular meeting. I don't think we had a lot of items to cover that meeting anyways.
I don't believe so. We can always move those to the 27th unless there's something absolutely pressing.
I am absolutely okay with doing it at our regular board meeting and then deciding then. I would say though, we should ask people to pencil in the 20th, hold the 20th open as a meeting.
Yep, that was on the original budget calendar. And
right, I would remind people, right, because you look at it and you don't always put it in. I think that we need to put it in as and as a holding now, hold it for a meeting, and it would be a very important meeting. Yes, a very important one. So I don't know, Brenda, your thoughts?
No, I think it's good to do it at the board meeting on Tuesday. And I already have the 20th on my calendar, so
yep,
seems like okay.
You're one of the good ones. David.
I'm fine with that proposal.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
We'll just let the others know that that's what we're going to do.
And on the daily update, there's not much in it. I will add that date as a post meeting tonight. I haven't sent it out yet, so I'll just put it right on there on our daily update tonight, as well as putting the 20th meeting on there. I'll add that on there.
And at the 20th meeting, could you just when you inform our colleagues, make sure they understand what's got to happen on the 20th.
Yeah, 20th would have to be before we close the meeting. We have to have a resolution accepting a budget.
Right. But if you just make sure they understand that that's the purpose of the 20th, it's very important. It really is very important.
Yep. Okay. Are there any other questions or discussion? Again, if you asked me a week ago what I thought we'd be doing right now, I thought we would be in the numbers and really talking about where we're at and what we're recommending. But they say good things happen when you wait, and hopefully the extra time that the state that they spend at the state level designing this budget will have a greater impact on Fulton. So in a positive way. So with that, if there's no other questions, I'll draw the budget workshop to a closure. And we will focus on the 13th for a much more in-depth conversation and hopefully a budget that will be in solid draft format after that meeting, but we shall see.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. All right. Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good evening, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Brian, can you hang on for a second?
Sure.